What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Andy Fade Master here, and right now I'm gonna show you guys how to perform a super duper fresh Ceasar haircut. For the first step, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attach my #1 guard onto my 100-year wall seniors. I'm gonna start with my lever closed, and I'm going to begin to shorten the hair up to the temple. Now I'm gonna continue all the way to the other side, making sure that the guideline is completely consistent and it's straight all the way around the head. Now once I'm complete with that guideline all the way through, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slowly pull my lever back and begin to create my next guideline. Now when I'm creating this next guideline, I'm only gonna make sure that it's about 1 inch higher than my previous guideline. Now while I'm rolling the clipper out, what it's doing is it's allowing this hair to just kind of fall right on place and not be too short. I wanna make sure that I'm not cutting this hair too short right here. So what I wanna do is I wanna just roll back and make sure that the guideline is completely straight. Close the lever slightly and then begin to work in between those two guidelines. So now I'm gonna take my wall icon and I'm gonna use my 1.5 guard. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with my lever back and begin to lift this line very slightly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna slowly use the flattest spot of the head and begin to raise this line just a bit. I wanna start to remove a lot of the round look that it has on the top, and I wanna make sure that I'm starting to square off the sides. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Instead of having more of a C motion now, what I'm doing is I'm going in there and I'm having just kind of a straight up and down motion. Using my wall comb, I'm going to want to feed the hair into the comb right until the 1.5 guideline that we've created. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna pull the comb out slightly and then begin to slide my clipper across to start to remove the bulk and transition the shorter hair into the longer hair on top. Now once I'm satisfied with the blend, I'm gonna go in there and now taper out the back. So to do so, I'm gonna take my retro T-cut and I'm gonna start by just skinning out the bottom. Then I'm going to take my wall pilot and starting with the lever back, I'm gonna begin to create my first guideline. So once I see that that guideline is in there, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slowly close the lever all the way, and I'm gonna start by raising this line by 1/4 inch. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use these small notches on the side of the pilot, and I'm gonna use those as my guides to slowly go over this line, moving the lever back 1 dot at a time and raising the line slightly. I'm going to take my 1/2 guard and I'm going to put it on the pilot and begin to do the same exact process, starting with it all the way closed and then moving it back slightly as I begin to lift the line. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my retro T-cuts and I'm going to begin to detail around the edges. And as I go around the ear, I'm just making sure to only use a corner of the blade. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the ear down and make sure that I'm linking the 2 points that I've already edged. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in there and I'm just gonna edge the side part. And I'm gonna start to trim the top of the hair. So I'm gonna start off in the back and using my clipper, I'm going to just trim the hair slightly and make sure that I'm taking consistent sections. And now once I've evened out the back, I'm gonna start to create a little bit of texture as I move to the front. Now the reason being is I wanna make sure that I can hide this cowlick and actually use the movement of the hair to manipulate it and make it look like that's all part of the style. Now, as you guys may see, I'm not going completely straight across. I want it to actually have more of a natural look. So I'm going in and I'm cutting all the hair vertically. And I'm taking another section and I'm repeating it all the way through to the other side. All right, so now that I'm through with cutting all the top and adding texture, I'm gonna add some of Wall's 1919 fiber paste for a medium hold and a matte finish. Now Now I'm only gonna take just a small amount in my hand, and I'm gonna begin to only apply product to the top of the hair. Now, so once I see that everything looks exactly the way I want it, we got a nice movement, nice flow, nice texture, and definitely a super clean Ceasar haircut.